there, gritty cowgirls, and welcome to another Cowgirl Mindset and Confidence Coaching lesson. In this lesson, we'll be talking about confidence and riding in your grit zone. We'll also talk about increasing your awareness of your thoughts and feelings so you know when you and your horse are in your grit zone. So, what exactly is confidence? Confidence is defined as a feeling of self-assurance arising from one's appreciation of one's own abilities or qualities. Confidence is trust in yourself. Here's the thing, we don't magically conjure up confidence and then go out and do something. Confidence is earned little by little, step by step. Confidence is a choice to go out there and keep trying, to make mistakes and learn and grow, to be the best that we can be. Confidence is the willingness to try and trusting that you will figure out how to achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve. Or, as Dr. Russ Harris shared in his book, The Confidence Gap, actions of confidence come first. Feelings of confidence come later. Now, the opposite of confidence is fear. And there are two main types of fear: situational and psychological. Situational fear, also called real fear, the fear that we experience as a response to an immediate and present danger. This is good, helpful fear. Psychological fear, also called imagined or irrational fear, is fear with no concrete immediate cause. It can be fear of what might happen, fear of what other people think, fear of failing, etc. This fear is generally not helpful. Now, the amygdala, the part of our brain responsible for regulating our emotions, can't tell the difference between real or imagined fear. So with both types of fear, our brain activates our sympathetic nervous system, or the fight, flight, freeze response. We get a surge of adrenaline. Our heart rate increases, our breathing gets faster, our muscles tense. Our body is making sure that we have the ability to fight the danger, run away from the danger, or freeze and hide until the danger goes away. Once the danger goes away, our body engages the parasympathetic nervous system, or the rest and digest response. If you've ever seen a horse spook at something like a plastic bag blowing across the pasture, and then when it's gone, the horse goes right back to eating, that's an example of returning to the rest and digest response. Now, this reaction to fear is normal. It's deeply embedded in our biology. This is the response that ensured that our cavewoman ancestors didn't get eaten by saber-toothed tigers. Now, with imagined fear, because there isn't actually a real and present danger that we can overcome, we might not get to the point of, whew, I'm okay now. So our imagined fears accumulate, and we stay in this state of anxiety. Our amygdala never gets the signal to dial down the sympathetic nervous system, the fight, flight, freeze response, and instead dial up the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest response. We aren't like the horse that goes back to grazing after the scary plastic bag blows across the pasture. Instead, our sympathetic nervous system stays engaged and we stay anxious. When this happens, our horse can pick up on our imagined fears, and their response might even transform into behaviors that lead to real fears. So, for example, let's say you're tacking up your horse, and you're thinking about how the last time you rode him, he spooked and bolted. So, as you're tacking up, you start worrying that he's going to spook and bolt again, and you start feeling anxious. Even though your horse isn't acting up at this exact moment, you're worried about the what-ifs that might happen. Your thoughts start affecting your body, your breathing, your heart rate, your muscles, your posture. Your fight, flight, freeze response has been triggered, and it causes a physical response in your body. Pretty soon, your horse could start picking up on your fear and could even respond by getting nervous himself. If your horse's fight, flight, freeze response get triggered, it could lead to your horse exhibiting some dangerous behaviors, like spooking, bolting, bucking, kicking, or rearing. And this is how imagined fear can become real fear when we're working with our horses. It's also an example of the rider's fear and anxiety cycle and how our thoughts affect our body and how our body signals our horse and can cause our horse to become fearful too. To break this fear and anxiety cycle requires awareness. There are so many things that you need to be aware of when you work with and ride your horse. The most obvious is body awareness, like if you're sitting evenly and balanced, or if you're applying your aids with proper timing. You also need to be aware of your horse's responses. You need to be aware of your horse's softness or resistance to a rein aid. You need to pay attention to determine if your horse swishing his tail was at flies, or irritation at your leg aid, or even warning of a pending kickout. Being aware of your horse's sudden tense muscles, raised head, and alert ears can prepare you to take action before your horse spooks. Now, besides the more obvious awareness of your physical body and your horse's reactions, you also need to be aware of your thoughts and feelings. Your thoughts drive your feelings, and your feelings drive your actions. So being aware of your thoughts so you can change them and keep them positive is important. In upcoming lessons, I'll be sharing mental skills and techniques that you can use as soon as you are aware that you're starting to have nervous thoughts or feelings. For this lesson, we're just going to talk about awareness, and basically all of our horsemanship comes down to awareness. Were you aware of what happened before what happened happened? We're often taught to ignore our gut feelings. When we're feeling a little iffy or have this little hint of worry, we might be encouraged to suck it up and tough it out and get on anyways and ride when we're nervous or scared. We are encouraged to ignore the what happened before what happened happened. And this is a mistake, because with horses, we cannot fake confidence. They literally can sense our fears. And here lies the confidence conundrum. If we need to take actions of confidence before we feel confident to become confident, yet our horses can sense if we are not authentically confident, how can we build our confidence? We need to be like Goldilocks and assess if the situation is too hot, too cold, or just right. First, let's talk about too hot, or the danger zone. This is where you don't feel safe, where the demands of the situation are beyond your skills and abilities, or beyond your horse's skills and abilities. Going into the danger zone will greatly decrease your confidence level at best, and at worst, you and your horse could get hurt. Next, let's talk about too cold. This is the comfort zone, or the stuck zone. This is where you are comfortable, but you're not building your confidence, you're not making any progress towards your horse goals. Then we have just right. This is the grit zone. What is the grit zone? The grit zone is the in-between zone. It's outside of your comfort zone, but it's not into the danger zone. When you are in the grit zone, you are learning, growing, taking action, and you're trying new things. When you are in the grit zone, you are making progress towards your goals. You are building your skills and building your confidence. When you are in the grit zone, it takes a lot of focus and effort. As such, you cannot always be in the grit zone. You would burn yourself out. So when you are practicing, it works to oscillate between your comfort zone and your grit zone. Work on something that requires your focus for a bit, then return to something that you and your horse are comfortable with, and repeat. Work a while in the grit zone on something new, then go back to the comfort zone. Only you can determine what zone you are in. So as you're working with your horse, occasionally pause and ask yourself, what zone am I in right now? What zone is my horse in? We need to practice awareness, and we need to listen to our gut. I'm sure we can all think of a situation where you've said, if only I would have trusted my gut, and not pushed my horse through that situation, then maybe that wouldn't have happened. If you are getting a gut feeling, that sense that you probably shouldn't do something, take a minute to assess the situation. Check in with how you're feeling. Take a deep breath and ask, what zone am I in right now? What zone is my horse in right now? What is happening right here, right now, that is leading to me getting this feeling? Take a moment and notice what your horse is doing. How is your horse responding to the environment? How is your horse responding to you, to your aids? Ask yourself, is this feeling caused by a situational danger, something that actually could cause a wreck or hurt you or hurt your horse? Or is the cause of this feeling a what if or imagined fear, and there really is no immediate danger? And then, do you feel that you have the knowledge, skills, and abilities to guide your horse through the situation? Take action and get you and your horse back to your comfort zones. A good instructor can do wonders in guiding you and helping you and your horse learn and grow. A not so good one can further damage your confidence. When you are seeking assistance, especially when you're looking at building your confidence, look for someone who has achieved with their horse what you want to do with your horse. In the absence of an instructor, we often find ourselves riding with well-meaning friends who give advice. If someone is pushing you to ride through something, you're getting that gut feeling, you need to assess if you truly trust that person and their instruction. If they haven't done in the past what they are telling you to do, if they couldn't take the reins and do what they are telling you to do with your horse, or if they could but you wouldn't really agree with their methods, then this is a sign that their advice probably isn't the right fit for you and your horse. All right, Gritty Cowgirls, that was a lot of information on confidence, riding in your grit zone, and being aware of your thoughts and feelings as you're riding. So that's it for this long lesson. Let me know what you think, and the next time you ride, ask yourself, what zone am I in? Get gritty.